Ladies, gentlemen, let's talk about the Wurkkos HD01, a very small flat profile flashlight. It's very rare that I find myself interested in, like really interested in or excited about a new flashlight. I've been testing flashlights now for about 2 years, so I've seen a lot of them, various price points, sizes, shapes, outputs, blah, blah, blah. When I got hold of this one, the excitement came back. Let me tell you why. Stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Wurkkos HD01 really quickly. These guys sent me this light to test out, and I didn't really know anything about it. But when I got hold of it, I was actually pretty intrigued, I guess is the best way to put it. Comes with a manual, lanyard if you want to use it, USB-C charging cable seems to be the standard, and the light itself. And we'll set the packaging aside. You know, the packaging is simplistic, it's nice. You know, it gives you the specs about the color model, color range, made in China. Claims, let's see, all the way up to 1200 lumens at its highest distance. I found the outputs, by the way, when I tested them, to be spot on. Like when I tested lumens, 1200, got 10,000 candela. This thing delivers what it promises, which is always cool. But if we look at this light, it is nice and small. It is a flat profile light. And here's the thing, guys. Flat profile lights have not really been a new thing. They've been around a little bit. There are many other brands that put a flashlight that has a flat profile, more pocketable light. So this is not the only one out there. Where it really excels is in terms of its overall set of features and what you get for the price. The pricing on this thing is ridiculous compared to some of its competitors, because some of its competitors are over, well, let's just say a lot of money, but over 100 bucks. I think the Surefire one's over 200 bucks. Even its cheapest competitors are still more than double what this light costs. For what you get as many features, if not more features, than those higher priced lights. And let me just go through the feature set real quick. Let me just refer to the one thing I love about Wurkkos is they give you a flow chart of the buttons and the clicks. Much easier for my little simple monkey brain to understand than the whole like diatribe of words. But if we talk about the forward button right here, if you want the laser, one click and it gives you the laser. And the laser, I think, is really useful. One, if you ever instruct, if you're ever out with a bunch of people, especially outdoors, and you need to point out something, like the laser is awesome, and it really kind of gives you this ability to go, hey, I need you to look at that right there. And it works a lot better than pointing your finger. The uses for that are endless. Automotive repair, you name it. Laser's always handy. I know that we don't often think of it, but it really comes in handy. And a lot of times I don't want to carry an additional laser pointer with me, but having it integrated into something else is pretty awesome. Now, if you hold the front switch, you're going to get the side light. And the side light is RGB, so if one more click just turns it off. If I hold it again and get the side light, and then I hold it again, it's going to shift through the different colors. You know, if this is useful to you in the different color scheme, maybe, maybe not, but it's pretty freaking cool. And then if I double click, it'll just flash. I think that might be useful for signaling, nighttime, a lot of stuff, depending on what color you want. So, and like I said, single click turns that off on the forward switch. If I do 2 clicks, then I get white light out of the side. And it's set on low right now, but if I hold it, it'll go to mid and then high. So if I need more broad illumination, like under the hood of a car, you name it, guys, I think this is really nifty. Oh, it's so bright. Oh, sorry. And you can turn on the front and the back at the same time. But once again, if I 2 click, I get the floodlight, and then if I hold it, it'll go to the low, hold it again, the mid, hold it again, the high, hold, and then single click turns that off. Broader illumination, super useful. And I don't see this on any of the other flat profile lights. Like this is, as far as I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, unique to the Wurkkos HD01 in terms of having that side light in addition to laser front-facing light. I think that is frigging awesome. And then if I wanna go 3 clicks, it'll start giving me different RGB patterns. So we have like the police one. And then if I 1 click turns it off. If I do 2 clicks, it'll just keep changing. I get the waterfall, that, and then back to the police thing. Maybe it's your jam, maybe it's not. If you want to keep this thing from accidentally engaging in your pocket, 4 clicks on the front one. There we go. It gives you a double flash. That tells you it's locked out. Anytime you press a button, it just gives you that little quick, like that's the nope, not going to happen. 4 clicks again will turn it back off or unlock it again. So you've got a lot going on just from that one switch. Now, if you want to engage in the front light, that's the bottom button. So if you just hold it on, you get moonlight. I don't know if you can even see that, but it's really, really dim. I think it's 1 lumen, guys. It is super, super low. So it's good for finding stuff without, you know, really broadcasting your signature, or if you're, you know, in the bedroom with your significant other or spouse, you don't wake anybody up. That is frigging awesome. 1 click turns that back off. And then if I 1 click, I get just the main light. And then if I hold it, it'll go high, then low, medium, high. So, and it will have memory. So if you get the 1 click and it's back to low, which is useful, I think. And then, like I said, if you just want to default it to one of the higher ones, then if you just hold it, like say I just always want it on the highest mode, 1200 lumens, by the way. Actually, I'm sorry, 800 lumens. Single click turns it on, single click turns it off. Now, if you want the brightest out of this, you got to double click the rear. That's the 1200 lumens. Like I said, that is frigging bright. For something this small, that output is unfrickin' real. I am very impressed with that. I mean, even shining it off to the side, like I've got spots in my eyes right now. That is amazing. 3 clicks gives you strobe. If you want the epilepsy mode, you can get the strobies. It's useful. And 4 clicks on the bottom one will also lock or unlock. Now, there's one feature of the forward button that I didn't mention, and it's what they call the breathing switch, and it's 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, sorry. There we go. And then the lights just kind of around the buttons kind of come up, come down. I don't know what you use it for, but I think it's really cool looking. I'm sure that there is some parasitic drain on the battery from doing that. You don't get, you know, no free lunches, but that is awesome. And 5 clicks again turns the breathing back off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that goes away. But overall, guys, nifty feature set, and it's so light. Dual-sided pocket clip, so you can put it in your pocket, or you can clip it to a ball cap or whatever. And guys, this is light enough to where it doesn't really feel like you're wearing a weight on your head if you do want to clip it to your ball cap. The rear is magnetic. It will stick to stuff. So yeah, sorry, just stuck it to something outside of the camera view. But so if you wanted to mount this somewhere like under a hood on your toolbox, you can easily accomplish that as well. Guys, I will show you some beam shots, but in general, I'm really, really impressed with this light. Like seriously, it doesn't weigh anything, fits in your pocket nicely, just like a lot of the other flat profile lights. But like I said, the price on this is ridiculous, ridiculous. USB-C charging, so any USB-C charger that's narrow enough fit right in there shouldn't be a problem. There is some mild level of waterproofness with this. I don't think I would want to go swimming or scuba diving with it, but if it gets casually wet, I don't think you're going to have any issues. Oh, I did forget to mention 2 things. Runtime on its very lowest mode is something like 70 hours. On turbo, the highest mode, it's going to be 1 hour. You're not going to stay at 1200 lumens for the entire output. Anything that's this small that puts out that amount of light is going to step down in order to protect the circuitry and keep the LED from burning out. And I forgot to mention one more thing. The claimed candela, the claimed output of this was 6,000 candela. I saw 10,000. So this thing easily makes its lumens, and it exceeds its rated output for candela. So this light has more distance capability in it than you would expect from something this small. Anyway, guys, I'll give you some beam shots, final thoughts. I don't want to make this too long, but like I said, did I mention I really, really like this light? It's really nifty. So, okay, basement beam shots. Here's the side light, the broader light. If I put it on low, You can barely see it. It's actually really, really low. That's medium. The close wall's 4 yards, far wall is 10 yards, and that is high. So that is the side or more broad beam. So you see what you see there. And then if we turn on the laser, oops, sorry, let's see. There. We can see the laser light very easily at 10 yards. That's the low on the front spot. There's the 4 yards, 10 yards, medium, high. So a lot of light on high, and then turbo. That's 1200 lumens, 10,000 candela, a lot of light on the indoors. Let's see what we see on the outdoors. All right, so outdoors, tree line's 20 yards. Here's the laser. So you can easily see the laser at 20 yards. That's not a problem. If I go to the side beam, that is the low, which is very broad lighting. Oh, sorry, that was the high. There's low, medium, high. Like I said, this is not really for distance lighting. That is more for broad spectrum lighting. And that shows. And then if I go to the spotlight or the more floody light, that's low, medium, I'm starting to see the trees, and high, I can definitely obviously see the trees with the high. There is the turbo, a lot of light, and while I'm doing turbo, I can get the laser as well, which is relatively centered, so if you need the light and the laser at the same time, you can easily do that. Let's see what this looks like at distance. All right, so once again, I got about a good 180 yards to the far lights. Here's the broader, the side beam. Now that's high. There's low. There's medium. Once again, high. A good broad beam, but it's really not going to give you that distance. So I wouldn't really use this for distance lighting. And then if I'm using the further beam, there's high, low, medium, high. And then if I do turbo, a good amount of light. Like I said, I mean, there are other lights that certainly throw further than this, but for the size of this light, that is impressive. That is the turbo. And there's the laser, if you can see that. Like, once again, nicely centered. I mean, guys, I'm seeing that on the street light out there. So if I need to point something that's literally 180 yards out, the laser works, the turbo works. For something that's pocket size, this is pretty amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Wurkkos HD01. I gotta tell you, I'm kind of struggling with coming up with any negatives for this light. It is so lightweight that it easily goes in a pocket, pouch, purse, and with the lockout, you can make it to where you don't have any accidental activation when you have it in those places. So it easily just kind of disappears on your person or as part of your EDC. I think this is good for a lot of things. Admin light, walking the dogs, working on your car, working in the shop, going for a walk at night. Anytime you don't need a quote full-on like crazy searchlight tactical light, this thing really, pardon the pun, shines. If I'm gonna give it a hit, and I guess I gotta give it this because there are some people in the flashlight community who are really all about this, the battery is not removable. So if this battery does die on you, then the light is dead. Now, Wurkkos does have a warranty, and I don't imagine that that battery is going to die on you easily or rapidly. What I think is more likely to happen is that 3 or 4 years down the road, it shuffles off to some other job and another light has caught your eye in the interim. But for my money, I'm not that worried about integral batteries. Now, some people, like I said, that's a deal breaker, but for me, on this light, I don't have a problem with that at all. Like it is fine for me, and I'm totally cool with it having that integrated battery. Really the only downside I can come up with, guys, I mean, really, it is super bright for its size, super handy. Obviously with the laser pointer, man, that's friggin' amazing, guys. And like I said, I don't use laser pointers very often, but when I need them, it's kind of nice to have them. Having that side light, like I said, I haven't seen that on any of the other lights, especially not with the RGB. I've seen RGB lights on other lights, obviously, that have this, but not in the context of all of these other feature sets. And something this light or I'm sorry, something this thin. Overall, guys, like I said, super impressed with this light. I'm very curious as to what sort of uses you guys come up with for it. But in general, I think this is going to be an EDC item for me. I think that it's probably going to go alongside another tactical light because it's so small, I'm not even going to miss it. Also, really easy to hang on your armor if you're wearing something like that, like on a molly strap or anything like that. A lot of my colleagues do that with some of their flashlights. This is so small, I think it's just probably going to disappear in that regard. Really handy, but really out of the way when you don't need it. I'll stop here. I'm gonna, I've said enough about this light. I very much like it. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I'm happy to report that it's finally a light that I'm reviewing that I'm actually really excited about. Not that some of the other lights I've reviewed haven't been cool, but this one really, for what it is, man, I'm quite impressed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this, please do give me a like and a subscription. If you hated it, but you watched all the way to this point, all I can say is I very much appreciate you. Thank you for sticking around. If you have any comments, concerns, or anything like that, hit me in the comments. You can always also catch me on Instagram under the same handle. There a reasonable amount of time. Take care, stay safe. I'll talk to you soon.
Get 'em, Jay.